Good day, folks. Welcome to Bright's Mind Academy, where we bring brilliance to every lesson. In today's video, I want us to look at financial mathematics question from November 2024 question paper. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just move fast because the first two ones are easy, and yeah, this one is easy. So my interesting part is on this one. So it says Mary's grandparents deposited 5,000 into a savings account. On the day that she was born, the account pays an interest rate of 6.8% per annum compounded quarterly. Calculate the accumulated amount in this account on Mary's 60th birthday. So we know that this is very easy. A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of N. Why this formula? It is compounded. It is not on a simple interest, right? If it was a simple interest, they would have told you. And then my principal amount, it is 5,000. 1 plus what is my I? My interest, it is this much. So I'm gonna say it is 0.068. But I need to divide by the period of my interest, which is 4 years. So you get that interest for 4 years. Sorry, not 4 years. Four times a year. Okay. Remember, a quarter it is made up of 3 months. So there are 4 months. So there are four quarters in a year, basically. So it's gonna be 16 multiplied by what? By 4. So what you wrote here must match the times thereof. And then we get something like 5,001 plus 0.68 divided by 4 to the power of 16 times 4. We get something like 14,706,56. Fairly easy. And then they say to us, after 4 years, the value of a printer was half of its original value. Determine the rate at which the value of the printer depreciated over the years if depreciation was calculated according to a straight line method. Remember, straight line method, it is a simple interest with a minus, okay? And then if the value, so they are telling us, remember on depreciation, accumulated amount will be lower than the principal amount. Why? Because a car or whatever, it loses value. So if you buy a car by 10 rand, now you will sell it 4 rand some other time. So yeah. So accumulated amount should be, they are saying it should be half. Okay, it should be half of the original price. So you can say half X, it is equal to original price. It means it was X. 1 minus what is interest? Interest we do not know for I. Or now basically I prefer saying this is half and then this is 2X, but it's still the same thing. Okay, and then I'm going to divide by half on both sides. Sorry, when I divide by x on both sides, then I'm going to get half. It is equal to 1 minus 4i, and then take 4i to the other side. Then 1 minus half, it is basically half. And then half divided by 4, it is 1 divided by 8, which is 0.125. And then I need to multiply that by 100, and then I get my rate to be something like 12.5 what percent. Really straightforward and easy. If they said on reducing balance method, what is this? Reducing balance method, it was going to be I to the power of N, reducing balance method. Okay, let's move on to Tshepo. Tshepo was granted a loan of 100,000 on the 1st of March 2022 at an interest rate of 13% per annum compounded monthly. Tshepo agreed to repay the loan over 5 years in monthly installment of 2.3,98 starting on the 1st of April 2022. Remember, if you're compounded a monthly, if you're whatever it is compounded monthly, you need to start paying a month after taking the loan, and this is the case. So you took the loan on the 1st of March and started paying on the 1st of April 2022. This is fine. Okay, this is fine. They say calculate the total interest that Tshepo will pay. So the total interest that Tshepo will pay, interest, it will be the amount paid subtract the loan amount. What do I mean by the amount paid? Tshepo is gonna pay this much, okay? Tshepo is gonna pay 2,300.98 for how many years? For 5 years. Again, but he's gonna pay this amount for 5 years, but each and every month. So in a year, he's gonna pay this amount 12 months in a year. Okay, 12 months in a year, because now it is computed monthly. So for 5 years, he's gonna be doing this 12 times in each year. Then minus the loan, my loan amount, it is something like 100,000 thereof. And then you get something like, let me quickly confirm that, 233.98 times 60 minus 100,000. And then we get a loan of 38,058.80. So this is the interest paid. Remember, when you take a loan of 100,000, you are not expected to pay exactly that 100,000. You're supposed to pay more. Okay, yes. And then let's move on now to an interesting part. It says Tshepo paid 22,300.08, which is his monthly installment, and an additional 20,000. On the 1st of March 2024 into the loan account. He continues to pay original amount installment thereafter, blah, 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 blah. Then the question is, how many months earlier will Tshepo repay the loan? Okay, let me try to make this in a number line so that it makes sense. This is Tshepo on the 1st of March 2022 when he took the loan. Okay, he started making the payment on the 1st of 1st of April 2022, which is normal. This is how you're supposed to start making a payment a month later after taking the loan. And then he's been paying that amount, and then they tell us that Tshepo now decided on that on the 1st of March 2024, which is 2 years after the initial loan. He will do what? He will pay, he paid 22,300.08, which is his monthly installment, plus an additional 20,000. Okay? Sorry. Plus an additional 20,000. So, and then they tell you he continues to pay the original monthly installment thereafter. We know that Tshepo is expected to end making payment 5 years after 1st of March 2022, which is the 1st of March 2027. But now, the thing is, when Tshepo paid this 20,000, it affected the outstanding balance. What do I mean by it affected the outstanding balance? It means now if Tshepo was owing 60,000, was now owing 60,000 at this point, it means when he takes out 20,000, he will now owe 40,000. So can you see he will pay this amount at a faster time compared to the 60,000 original? This is what I'm trying to explain basically. So he will not reach this point to pay. Hence the question says, how many months earlier will Tshepo repay the loan? So we want to know where earlier will Tshepo finish making the payment. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to calculate the outstanding balance at this point. The outstanding balance, remember, outstanding balance, it is the money that you owe again, not the loan, the money that you still need to pay after making these payments here. So we need to calculate the outstanding balance on the 1st of March 2024. And on that outstanding balance, we need to subtract 20,000, because this 20,000, it is not what monthly payment. It is what? It is a additional. So it makes it easier for you to pay the loan faster. So the outstanding balance, you're going to say, I prefer using this one that says A minus future value, where A, it is your what? Your what is this compound formula? So your A, it will be your interest to loan, to date, sorry, not to loan. For this one, we will use this formula. Okay, so A, it is the interest to date, how much the bank has been putting. Remember, the interest, it is 13.5. I need to divide it by 12 to the power of 24. Why 24? Because I want to see how much interest did the bank put on 100,000 for the 24 months. I get, which is 2 years. And I need to subtract how much you've been paying for that, for that 24 months. So for you, we're gonna use future value because you've been paying. So we're gonna say you've been paying 2,300.98, and then 1 plus I, which is 0.135, divided by 12 to the power of 24 minus 1. And then I need to divide that by my interest. 0.135 divided by 12. Now, this here, this here should match this here, okay? The interest and the number of periods thereof, okay? Yes. So you get something like the outstanding balance, you get something like, let me quickly do that on my calculator and see how much I get. So it's supposed to be fairly easy for you to get that value. I think I did it somewhere. You get something like 67,805.20. Okay, this is the outstanding balance on this part. But when he makes a payment here, the continuous what on the 1st of April 24, when he continues, the outstanding balance will no longer be this one. How much will be out the outstanding balance? So the outstanding balance here will be this one. Okay. Okay, let me not confuse you. This is the outstanding balance here before he made the 20,000. But now after making the 20,000, it means now the new outstanding balance is gonna be what? 67,805.20. And then I need to subtract how much? The 20,000 that he put. So this is my new outstanding balance. So it's gonna be something like 47,805.20. Yes. Before I continue, I want me to come here. Some people, when they calculate outstanding balance, they use this formula. Outstanding balance, it is equal to X, actually present value formula. So for the present value formula, for you to use that formula, you need to say, okay, how many months left does he need to pay? Can you see that he needs to pay for how many years? If he has already paid for 2 years, and then he still needs to complete 3 years, and then so we need to calculate the outstanding balance. When you use present value, so you need to calculate using the months that are still yet to be paid. But when you use this one that I used here, you need to use the months that have already been paid. Okay, but this one you'll just say for present value, you use present value, is going to be 22,300.98, 1 minus 1 plus 0.135 divided by 12. How many months are still left to be paid? So how many years? It is 3 years. Then I multiply that by 12. It is 36. So I'm going to say minus 36. And then I will divide that by my interest, which is 0.135 divided by 12. And then let's just confirm how much do we get. The value should be slightly different from the one that we get, but not by a big margin, just slightly. Okay, 1 minus 1 plus 0.135 divided that by 12 to the power of negative 36. And either way, both of these methods are acceptable, by the way. So when we use this one, we get something like 67,000. I will. I think I used a larger value somewhere. Okay, here. We get 67,804.94. So can you see? This one is 67,804. This one is 67,805. So it's by a small margin. Okay, and then you'll come here, also subtract 20,000 from that value. It's still fine. It's still the same thing. I just wanted to clarify that for those who are using that method, that it is the same. And then let me do this. And then this is the outstanding balance now he will now owe, I guess. But now the question was, if from here he is owing, okay, If from here he is owing this how much? 47,805.20. We need to know he's gonna settle this loan. Remember this OB, it is the same as the present value, the value that you still owe. We need to know how many months is he gonna take to settle this amount. Okay, when he continues making the monthly payment. So we need to know by how many months is he gonna settle that loan. So we need to use the present value formula because he's still paying the loan. 1 plus 1 is it 1 plus here or minus? I've forgotten, but 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n. Remember present value formula, you need a negative to the power of I. So divided by I. My present value is my outstanding balance, 47,805.20. And then my monthly payment are not affected, it's still the same amount. And then what I need to find here, it is how many months is he gonna pay this amount? Is he gonna settle this amount? 0.135, divide all that by 12 to the power of negative n. I'm looking for n. And then all divided by something like 0.135 divided by 12. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this one and multiply it to the other side. And then after doing that, that value that I get, I divide it by 2,308. So I'm gonna say for 7,805.20 multiplied by 0.135 divided by 12. And then I need to divide that by 2.3,98. And then I get something like 0.233,730. I leave it there. It is equal to 1 minus, okay, 1 minus what? When I punch this on my calculator, all of it, it gives me something like, let me put 1 plus 0.135 divided by 12. This one inside the bracket, it gives me something like 809 divided by 800 to the power of negative n. And then when I take it to the other side, this one, this negative 809 to the blah, blah, blah. So it's going to just be 809 divided by 800 to the power of negative n. 1 minus this value is going to be 0.66. Okay. 1 minus 0.233730. It's going to be something like 0, when I was lying 76627. And then when I want my n, is going to be negative n is equal to log. When I want to drop this n now, as I have done here, I need to introduce log, and then this is the base, remember here. So the base will remain the base. So the base will remain the base. And then these two will exchange exponents. Okay, so this one will be 0.76627. 27. And then negative log, I get something like negative 23.80, which n is equal to 23.80, right? So, which is approximately 24 months. So from this date here, let me remove this. From this date here, he's gonna make 24 payments. Okay, and 24 payments, it is exactly 2 years. So it means now he's gonna end making payments on the 1st of March 2026. Okay, this is approximately 24 months. Okay, approximately 24 months. Remember, these are months. So he's gonna take 24 months to pay this amount. So after this one, after making this large amount thereof, he's gonna take what? 24 what? Months to settle the loan. And remember, on that 24th day or month, you need to make a payment of it. So if he completed the payment at this point here, on the 1st of March 2026, but he was supposed to complete the payment on the 1st of March 2027. How many months earlier did he complete the payment? Remember, he was left with how many months? Initially, let me use a red color. Initially, he was left with three years. Initially, he was left with 3 years, which it is equal to 36 months. Okay, before making this payment here. Okay, or after making the 20,000, he was left with 36 months to pay because the loan was 5 years. But now, after taking out the 20,000, it affected the number of years he's gonna pay. So he then, after making the 20,000 payment, then continues to make those payments. He then finished paying it after 2 years. After 2 years, which is 24 months. So how many months earlier did he complete? Months earlier is going to be 36 minus 24, which is 12 months. So it is a year earlier, because if you're supposed to end in 3 years but you finished in 2 years, so it is what? A year earlier. So you're going to say, therefore, months earlier is going to be equal to 36 minus 24, which is basically 12. So not 12 years, 12 months. So that is basically that, guys. That is basically that. So you had to understand that before, yeah. But hopefully it made sense. I made it make sense. So yeah, if not clear, please watch it again, and then yeah, you will get it right. Thank you very much. Join me on the next one. I hope you enjoyed.